So very warm welcome to Esperanza, and actually we like to call her Shanti. Mhm. And Esperanza has been practicing meditation for, I think, practically most of her life, and since her late teens. And she's based in Seville, in Spain, and is coordinating the activities of the meditation center, the Brahma Kumari Center there, and in the area of Andalusia. And I've been lucky enough to have been there a number of times and have visited and seen really just how much with such love and such generosity and so much energy really that Esperanza goes round to the different centers and really and of course that's not been possible in the last year, but for as long as it's been possible, her energy and love to share this spiritual knowledge and the fruits of a spiritual lifestyle have been really inspiring. So Esperanza is also really a good friend, and we have the opportunity to share many things, and so that's really also very enriching. And our topic today is the language of silence. So this is also something that the name that Esperanza has is Shanti, which means peace and silence, and so I think it's really one of her specialities to be able to share on this subject. So most welcome, Shanti, and we're really happy to have you with this group.
Thank you so much, Radha, for your introduction, for the chance to be among all of you. And I guess it's people from different backgrounds. I don't know if from different countries, but yes, we all speak English. My English is not so good, I tell you, you will see. But there is a language which is understood by each and everyone, and this is the language of silence. I'm talking about the inner silence. This last year, some have had forced silence, but other people have chosen to experience a kind of inner silence, to listen to themselves, to listen to the members of the family that sometimes with the rush of the daily things, they don't listen to each other, but there has been the time, the opportunity for that. And that silence is the basis of closeness to life. If I cannot be silent, I cannot listen. And if I can't listen, I can't feel others. And if I cannot feel others, I cannot communicate. Definitely I cannot. Maybe I can talk, but I cannot communicate. If we speak and we irradiate or vibrate this language, really there is a language that speaks through my eyes, through my vibrations, through our face, and that will create like a bridge of communication. And even if we don't speak the same language, we can understand each other. Have you experienced sometimes people who don't speak English or whatever, with the language of the eyes or any gesture of body language, you can say a lot and you feel you are saying something from the heart, from the soul. So Yes, vibrations is number one, but also the good feelings, the respect, the kindness. Whatever you are, Italian, Spanish, Chinese, English, you understand. And it's like an invisible mobile. We can send anyone a good thought. What do you think? We are all day with that mobile, but this invisible mobile is really very useful because sometimes we have pending things that we could not say at the right moment, but we can send through our feelings, through our thoughts. So that is very useful. And also it happens with bad feelings. Others catch it. And we also catch when someone has not a very good vibration towards us. So we need to be careful to create something very good inside us so it can be spread. What is the right grammar of this language? Every language has a grammar. Um, this language of silence has the full stop. Full stop is very useful when wasting thoughts, wasting conversations that lead us to other things. It becomes like a net of things that create complications. But the full stop is not cutting someone's flow of communication. No, it's when we think too much or we judge too much some people, and then bad feelings emerge, or really verbal things that come out of our reactions. So, how to apply that full stop when the silence gives me like a mirror and I see myself? How do I see myself? Do I see with how someone is reacting and saying, like emotions translated in words that cannot be controlled, and then we repent. This is the language I want to express. And then the tongue is the smallest organ, but can say things that can break all the bones, even though it has no bones. So we have to be careful of some of our words because it can really give sorrow to others. And it's because, yes, it was an emotional reaction. I didn't mean it, but I said it. And if I put a full stop, I won't put so many labels, so many judgment, and so many things that are not necessary towards others. So I become more democratic, let's say, without so many faces or labels. But I'm able to connect with the essence of the other. You know how to connect with the essence of the other? You don't need to do anything special, just to see beyond their behavior, their nationality, any level we sometimes put to others, even the stories that others have told us about someone. And I keep that story in my mind, in the background, so I see you with that story in my mind. And then I judge. Full stop to that. Because, it can really cross out the reputation and the reality of the other. So see their essence is see their beauty. inner beauty. Mm? And when there is silence, I tune in to the reality. That can be, of course, some defects or some weakness, but who hasn't have defects and weakness? All of us have things that can be improved, right? But if we learn to see, yes, with our eyes, but also with another inner eye, another inner ear, I'm able to hear, things will change, because it won't be so important how I say the things in the polite way, but it will be more important that the feelings, the special and the good feelings are there, and that will say a lot. It will reach, that vibration will reach the other, because it will touch their heart. And when you feel something honest that comes from someone, it really impact in your soul, right? Because it's clean. It has no second intention. So you feel it's very clean, very pure. Also, the silence has a verbal tense. The tense of the silence, do you know which is? In Italian and Spanish is very complicated, the tense. Because we have to think in the past, in the future, in the pluscuamperfecto, um, pretérito perfecto, etc. But the silence has always the present, the now. The present moment is very important. And I don't become lost in the past. Yes, I can learn from the experience of the past, and it can become an experience and something that gives me maturity. I learn something from it. So that can help me to face something that I have now. But I don't keep the past, nor as an excuse, nor as a block to move forward. Yes, it's a learning experience. And also, I don't become repent when you live in the past, in the yesterday, again and again. You always are repenting. I wish I could have done things in a different way. Okay, do it now. Do it now in a different way. And also, I don't become lost in the irreality of the future. It's good to make good and to have good aims and to make good propose, but to become lost in that reality is like imagination can make us lose something of the now. And the now, the present, has a lot of chances and gives me the strength also to avoid any guiltiness. I don't know if to say guilty or blame or whatever, but it's the feeling of, or either you blame others or you feel guilty. And it's such a strong habit that makes you really lose a lot of special moments at this moment and at this instant. Beyond hope, I go to which is safe and which is certain. And I really have the faith that it will work. And the life will give us a lot of opportunities. Never think that If I didn't take it yesterday, I lose it forever. Maybe it will come in a different way, but it will come. So even if we have made mistakes in the past and I see them, I won't surrender myself to that guiltiness because it won't take me anywhere. But the silence will help me to connect with my original self. So I am open to learn, and to learn is a beautiful art. Always to learn from everyone and from everything, even the little details. We are students of life, and as much as silence will remain inside, in the sense of not judging, not that inner noise, but the quietness, the peace, the beauty of those moments of serenity, I will appreciate every moment that life gives me and puts me in front. And also, I will have moments of introspection that really recharge my battery. Don't you feel sometimes your battery is completely discharged? And it happens with the mobile, but not only with the mobile. It happens to all of us. And yes, people sleep, but I don't think it's the only way of recharging. For me, if I really have a moment of silence and inner quietness, I recharge even more than I sleep a lot. Because in that moment, it's not that I keep my mind blunt, but it creates something valuable. I create something that will give a fruit. It's one seed, but it will create many fruits. And I will experience the freedom of that inner quietness, because it's a peace that you can see everything very clearly. You can observe yourself, where you are in your life at this moment, how you are dealing with the things, how you feel in that mirror, the inner mirror. When there is that silence, you see a lot. Sometimes you don't want to see so much because you also see things that you don't like. But thanks to that space and time you create, it will make you have the quality of time to repair, to put the things, the feelings, the thoughts, and arrange everything in the right way. Because sometimes it's a mess. Our mind and our heart is a mess. But the silence provides that space and that time. And why do I say it's a kind of freedom? For me, it's because it's like I disarm my eyes of the waste or negative vision that criticize anything or anyone. Or I disarm my feelings of any kind of revenge and any animosity. Also, I disarm my ears of being attracted to any kind of wrong presentation or rubbish about others. I'm not interested in that. So that is a real liberation. Don't you think so? Yeah? And yes, then you control what you say and you line up to what is basic and necessary. If we check during the day the unnecessary things, not only we do, but we think and we feel, Maybe we do a very long list. And we say, oh, I have lost so much time in this, but we need breaks. It's like the car is to move, but if it has no brakes, the car is not useful. So, yes, we need to do many things. We need to be very alert. We need to pay a lot of attention, but also we need to have breaks, moments that we stop. Moments like this to reflect, to see in front of that part of the river that is in not movement, which is quiet. And in the quietness, you just see in that part of the river and you see yourself because it's quiet. You say, oh, this is a mirror. It's beautiful. I like to sit in front of this view of the river. Other moments you will like to see the movement, the flow of the river, but at that moment you need the quietness. So to feel I am here and I have a purpose, and also I feel my identity. If I ask you what is your identity, you will say your profession. Not only that, it's part of our professional identity, but our background, gender, profession, all this, which is, yes, important, is not my only identity. There is a spiritual identity that I need to also express. And if I really cultivate silence in that inner identity, all the other identities will take strength and beauty and even accuracy, I would say, because I will respect the universal law that everyone is free and have the rights. And yes, everyone wants rights and justice, but how many times I have been unjust because I have not understood, and I justify myself with my own perspective. But if a problem or if a habit repeats again and again, it's telling me something. So go to the silence and say to yourself, why is this repeating? Don't feel guilty, don't blame anyone, but see why it's coming back again and again. Because it's telling you something. Just reacting is not just. And sometimes it's a problem and sometimes it's a pain. But if it comes, I need to see why it's coming. And yes, to understand that when we stop, when we put those breaks in our flow of life, sometimes require some limitations. There are people who ask why to be tolerant that means that I have to be quiet and not to say things. And sometimes we need to speak. Sometimes we need to say certain things and put some limitations. Not everything is okay, but how do I put those limitations? Like walls that don't allow communication. Or yes, it's like I block someone, I don't speak to that person again. Or I put a limitation that later becomes that bridge. And maybe tomorrow we can understand each other. Today, I have to keep my distance. Today, maybe I don't understand you, but I will work on it. And that bridge is being created because my feelings are changing. And that is, stone upon stone upon stone. And then things can flow and can cooperate. So we need to keep that balance. mm? To think less but better. What do you think? It's a good formula, but we need to practice, not just knowing. And the key for that bridge is to respect the existence. That is love. Love in action. Love is not a passion, it's respect. Feelings of respect, no matter how you are, even with your weaknesses, with our differences. I respect you. That is a good arm of love, that respect. So I would like to invite you to do a practice of this silence with some steps, let's say, that can help us to experience when there are moments that we need to put that break. Otherwise, we can have accidents. Sometimes we go so fast. And there are moments for everything to do, and there are moments not to do. But at the same time, in not doing externally, I'm doing internally. And many things can happen, I tell you. So, steps, let's go to the silence without music, unless Radha knows how to put the music without, no? I think even pure silence is beautiful. So wherever we are, we can practice these steps that have to do with, like movements. We go by step back, make like retreat. So I give one step back and I see myself without judging, without seeing all my story, just taking perspective. And then step within the inner self. And then we go up and we connect with the supreme energy, something more divine. Also, something important, what I experience beautiful and like a treasure, like a gift, why not to share with others? So we will move along all these steps, okay? So you experience the inner quietness. Either I can close my eyes or just keep the eyes fixed in some point that gives you peace, that helps you to feel calm inside. What do I need to connect with my inner original self? I just need pure and honest motives. A clean inner motivation to allow that flow of my inner peace, my inner silence to emerge. So I try to give to myself this moment and also this space. Even I can move my shoulders or my neck if I feel a little bit tense or tired. And I breathe in to become relaxed. I breathe this peace that stays within me and helps me to connect with that inner self, with that beautiful self I am. I don't need anything else. I just need to feel totally free. I let go any worries, any sins of the past, any conversation that keeps coming with someone. Because I am now in the present, in the now. This is my moment, my reality, and it's beautiful. I tune in with that reality which is true, which is senseful, full of love, of peace, of contentment, of strength. I don't need to seek that outside myself. It's in there. So within myself, I listen to my inner qualities. Like a voice that emerges, that says, I am peaceful, I am loving. I am light. I don't just say it, but I feel it. And that silence surrounds me as a fragrance that makes me feel very safe inside, like protected from any influence, from any pull of the past. I put a full stop to that which is not necessary. And I feel my inner dignity, knowing that I am something else than this body, this role, that what I see with my eyes. And I open the window of my awareness for a new beginning. The silence within brings something fresh and new. And if I made any mistake in the past, today I can start afresh again. It's like to write with a capital letter. Everything is new. New chance, new beginning, new me. And when the window of my awareness opens, the light of the sun enters. It's not a physical sun, it's the supreme sun, supreme energy, something very divine and subtle, like a soft ray that comforts my inner soul and gives me strength and safety and a feeling of security, like everything will be right. Everything will be right. In that connection, I feel that something becomes clean. Maybe some heaviness becomes light, some darkness receives light. And I feel happy internally. I can let go of the things that I don't need without feeling guilty. I just don't need them. And as less I need something, I'm more free. And when I feel more free, I'm happier. And I can give that joy to others just by being natural, not pretending being no one else. I don't need to be no one else. I just need to be myself. Happy to be me. My best inner self. So what I share with others is from there, from the best within. Pure peace, pure contentment, pure strength, pure love. It's like the light of the lighthouse, very democratic, goes to the four directions, just giving to any boat. There are no preferences. So what I give is very equal, without expectation, very sincere. From a loving heart, from a generous heart, not seeing the defects of anyone. So I breathe deeply. Little by little, I can open my eyes and smile, because when we smile, things start to change around us. They get improved. Because that smile is not just physical, it has the inner peace and inner contentment. So the silence becomes the pencil, the drawing pencil that draws those smiles. Thank you so much for this opportunity and your presence and company. Thank you, Radha, for your invitation.
Thank you so much, Shanti, for sharing these beautiful thoughts really on the language of silence. And I really enjoyed listening and the images that you shared, actually the bridge, creating a bridge towards the others. And there are things that we can do within ourselves without needing the other person to be in front of us, or without having been able to say the right thing at the right time. And sometimes we miss those moments and give ourselves a hard time. And so this sense that that I can say what I need to say in the silence, and thereby also create the bridge towards the other. I think that's such a practical thing, really, that we can do within ourselves and focus on, and also seeing the essence of the others. So, and all the ways that you described of using silence, how we can use it to clear up the mess, how we can use it to rest as well. Very, very beautiful. And just seeing some appreciation also in the comments, in the chat. Thank you. Thanks so much, Silence. If anyone wants to say anything or ask anything, we have a few moments actually. So do feel free to unmute yourself and ask a question, or share a comment.
Silence.
Yeah, which is also fine. I mean, I think it's, this during the month of January, often within the spiritual practice of meditation. Anyway, it's the beginning of the year, but it's really the idea is that anything that you start, anything that you do in this month carries a very pure and positive energy. So it's whatever you want to do, start it now. So anyway, maybe we can close here, and just want to really thank Shanti Esperanza for sharing with us in this very, I think the silence and the peace just overflows through your being. And so that's really been so beautiful to have a longer meditation. And I hope you all enjoyed it too.
Mhm.
So,
Thank you so much.
thank you.